Good morning, students. Today we are going to start chapter number 7 of Political Science, Outcomes of Democracy. Now, children, your journey of democracy, it started from class 9, where we started studying the meaning of democracy. Then we did the features of democracy of different countries. And that journey of your democracy is going to end with this chapter, as this chapter tells us about how do we assess democracy's outcomes. Outcome is result now. How do we measure this result of democracy? On what basis? What are our expectations from the democracy? Is democracy has the democracy fulfilled these expectations of ours? Has democracy passed this test which we have given to the democracy? That is what we are going to do in this chapter, children. That is the introductory part which is given here. If you remember, in 9th class, we studied Madam Lindo's class of democracy, where the children have argued in a conversation that democracy is a better form of government when it is compared with dictatorship or any other alternative. We have done this in 9th class, that how is democracy better than other forms of government, especially upon the dictatorship. And what did we conclude? We concluded that, or we felt that democracy was better. So how democracy was better? Now this is the answer, children. Here there are 5 points. This question is or always asked in the board exam. One question 100% is there in the board exam, and the question is, how democracy a better form of government when it is compared to dictatorship or any other form of government. When this question is asked, you have to give these 5 points and explain each point in 2 or 3 lines to get 5 marks. So what is the first point? Promotes equality among citizens. We all know in democracy, the governments, they give equality, they maintain equality among all the citizens. Enhances the dignity of the individual. That means every person in a democracy have their respect. Their respect is maintained in the country, whosoever it is, from any language, from any culture. Improves the quality of decision making. When many people sit, we know that in democracy we elect our leaders. So many people sit in the parliament, they discuss all the problems and then they pass the bill. We have also seen in 9th class that how a bill is passed. It's a long system. So after all these, when they all discuss, the decision which they take is a quality decision. It provides a method to resolve conflicts. In parliament also we see that there are conflicts and they are resolved. They discuss and resolve those conflicts. It allows room to correct mistakes. Any minister, it's not only minister, any person in our country, any minister or any executive, if they make any mistakes, we have seen that many times even the leaders, they ask for an apology. We have seen that many of them, they through the media, they ask for an apology. So it is correct the mistakes, they correct the mistakes in a democracy. That is what is the answer, how it is better than, because in a dictatorship, there will be no equality. There will be no dignity of the individual. All are not equally respected. For example, if we talk about any country like a Pakistan, where they follow only the Islamic religion, other religious people are not respected equally. Quality of decision making. If there is dictatorship, only the dictator will take the decision whether it is wrong or right. They are not bothered about that. In the same way, they don't correct any mistake. Even if the dictator does any mistake, definitely he is not bothered to correct it. And the conflicts are there that will be ended by, in a dictatorship, if there are any conflicts, anybody raises any issues against the leader, they are not allowed to do so because media is also not independent there. So that's how you will give these answer, children, that how democracy is better than any other form of government. Now, are these expectations? Now, these are all what is given. Even if you see in a democracy, do you think all of them are there in our country? Really? I don't think so. Are these expectations realized under democracies? We are expecting all these, but are we seeing that are really they are fulfilled? When we talk to people around us, most of them support democracy. But when we compare democracy with other forms of government, we say democracy is far better. When we are comparing democracy with a dictatorship or a monarchy system or a military rule, we say democracy is far better than any other alternatives. But not so many of them would be satisfied with the democracy in practice. But again, if we ask this question in our India, some many people will say we are not happy, we are happy with democracy, but how it is being practiced in our country, we are not happy. Because even in India, we see there is a lot of money and muscle power. Lots of. If you get into the politics, you will see that all are rich people only. There is no place for a common person in the politics. So many of them would be satisfied with the democracy in practice. So we face a dilemma. Democracy is seen to be good in, if we see the democracy, it is good morally. So we face a dilemma. What is the dilemma? Democracy is seen to be good in morally, but not in practice. Children, these lines you underline because this is a question. I am repeating. Democracy is seen to be good in principle. That is, in written form. In constitution it is written, in principle it is written. Principle is something which is written. If you follow that, it's very good. But if you don't follow, it remains as the principle only in the files or in the paper. So that is what. So it is good in principle, but felt not so good in its practice. For example, in our country, we know that when we talk about democracy, how happy are we in the democratic country? Any person you ask, they are not happy in democracy. Every person has a complaint. One or the other complaint. There is a corruption. There is so much of poverty in the country. There is so many problems, etc., etc., etc. So every person has a problem in a democracy. So in actually practice, in our country itself, you see, is it really practiced? Do we all have the equal say in the government? Do we all have the equal rights? If we go to the court, if there is a rich person and a poor person, we obviously know that the rich person will win. Many people are afraid even to go to the police, go to the judiciary, because we know that democracy is not working so efficiently. What is democracy? Is it a wall? Is it a person? No, it is we have made the democracy. Democracy is not one single person. Democracy is not a wall. Democracy is not a product. It is people. We have made this democracy. But among us only there are so many people like that who don't follow. So this dilemma invites us to think hard about the outcomes of the democracy. That is why we are doing this chapter, that what is actually the result of the democracy? Outcomes. Do we prefer democracy for moral reasons? You know that we have done in political science chapter only. What is moral reason? Something which is written or something which is told to you. That's it. That's a moral reason. Because somewhere it is written, we are following it. So, are we really prefer democracy, that kind of a democracy? Or there are some prudential reason to support the democracy? Again, prudential reason, calculations based. What profit we are getting? Profit not in terms of money I am talking about. Profit in terms of independence, in terms of security, in terms of equality, in terms of respect. So, do we really have all these things in our country? That is prudential reason based on calculations. A woman cannot walk at night. A girl cannot go out in the night. Then where is the democracy? So that is what is the questions which we have to ask ourselves. Over 100 countries of the world today claim and practice some kind of democratic politics. If you open the map of the world, that which countries are democratic, we see most of the countries in the world are democratic. But are they too democratic? Are they following the same kind of democratic politics? Everybody have a different types of democracies. They have constitutions, every country where democracy when they call, they have constitution, they hold elections, they have parties and they guarantee rights of citizens also. For example, in Sri Lanka, we have done in the first chapter of power sharing. Sri Lanka calls itself as a democratic country and there are elections. But we have also studied that how Tamils are not given any rights over there. That is what is the talking about the true democracy I am talking about. Well, these features are common to most of them. These democracies are very much different from each other in terms of their social situation, in terms of their economic achievements and their cultures. If we compare our democratic system with US democratic system, UK democratic system, Sri Lanka's democratic system, they all are entirely different. All are saying that we are democratic. Even China says it is a democratic country. Syria, which says it is a democratic country where there is only one single party system. So they have elections, but you know we have already done in ninth class. If there is one party, one member is contesting election, and nobody is there to oppose, do we call that as election? But they call it as election and they say that it is a democratic country. So clearly what may be achieved or not achieved under each of these democracies will be entirely different. So for every democratic country, the outcomes will be different. The way they function are entirely different. But is there something that we can expect from every democracy just because it is democracy? One more question is asked. Why should we expect so much from the democracy, from our country? Our interest in fascination of the democracy pushes us into taking position that democracy can address all social, economic, political problems. What do we believe? We people in India especially believe, since it is a democratic country, all the problems of our country are solved by the democratic system. They should solve all our socio-economic problems. They should solve all our political problems, etc. etc. So our expectations are very high. If some of our expectations are not met, we start blaming the idea of democracy. It happens with the people also. If there are two people and they have expectations so much from each other, and if one person is not able to fulfill, one expectation is fulfilled but the second one is not fulfilled, then definitely the blame will come. Same way, when we talk about democracy, we expect so much from democracy. Democracy will remove corruption, democracy will reform the political parties, democracy will give us justice, democracy will give us we have so many expectations from the democracy, and the moment any one of these expectations are not fulfilled, we start blaming them. That is what is we are talking about. So we start doubting if we are living in a democracy and we blame democracy. What is this democracy? Is this a democracy country where there is no equality? So we start blaming the democracy. The first step towards thinking carefully about the outcomes of democracy is, first of all, to recognize democracy is just a form of government. Before we expect anything from the democracy, before we blame anything on democracy, we have to first of all understand what is democracy. Democracy is just a form of government, children. As I told you, democracy is not president, democracy is not prime minister, democracy is not a person or a good or a thing from which we expect. We can expect from another person, we can expect from a leader, but we cannot expect from a democracy, because democracy is we are democracy, we the people are democracy. So it's just a form of a government. It can only create conditions for achieving something. So democracy, for example, in democracy we say that people have the voice, people can express their views, and if you are not expressing your views, how can we blame the democracy? So democracy gives us the surroundings, gives us the conditions for achieving something. Like your parents gives you the conditions to study well. But if you don't study well, how can you blame them? Same here. How can we blame them? And at least here the parents are lively people. But democracy is nothing like that. It's just a form of a government which we made. So the citizens have to take advantage of those conditions and achieve the goals. So here citizens means even the leaders. Everybody should take the advantage of these conditions which are given in our country. We are lucky to have a democracy country. So we should take the advantage of this democratic form of government to remove the problems from our country. And let us examine now some of these things we are reasonably expect from democracy, and examine the record of the democracy. And the children cartoons we will do in the online class. I hope this much you have followed, children. Outcomes of democracy. It's a very general chapter which we have already done. These are all repetitions which we have done from the ninth class onwards. So the next part is, which is accountable, responsive and legitimate government. Let us do. When we talk about democracy, we we ask the democracy, or for us we expect the democracy, that it should be an accountable form of government, responsive government and legitimate government. That is what we expect. What do you mean by accountable? An accountable government is answerable to its citizens. It is reasonable for all the decisions it makes on behalf of its citizens. Government accountability means that public officials elected and all these people, they have to explain their decisions and actions to the citizens. That means whatever decisions they are taking, how they are taking, how they have discussed these decisions, what decisions they have taken, are they beneficial to the citizens? All these, the leaders whom we are electing, they should give us the information. Government accountability is achieved through the variety of mechanisms like legal, administrative, political, to prevent corruption and ensure that public officials remain answerable and accessible to the people. For example, if any fraud bill you got, maybe an electricity bill or any other bill, you have a right to approach there. We have RTI, right to information. You have the right to go and approach there and file a case, and they are answerable to you. The government agencies, everybody is answerable to you. That is what is accountable, responsive. Whatever happens for the citizens, whatever problems are there, they should take the responsibility. The leaders should take the responsibility for that. And legitimate actually means the people's own government. The meaning of legitimate means people's own government. So let's do this. This is what actually there in the accountable, responsive and legitimate government. So let's do in detail. There are some things that democracy must provide. In a democracy, we are more concerned with ensuring the people will have the right to choose their rules and people will have control over the rulers. What do we actually expect from democracy is the meaning of democracy which we have done. People have the right to choose rulers and control the rulers. Do we really think so, children? In our country this expectation is fulfilled? We choose, but do we have control upon these rulers? Definitely not. So whenever possible and necessary, citizens should be able to participate in the decision making that affects them all. We should all participate in the decision making process. Therefore, the most basic outcome of democracy should be that it produces a government that is accountable to the citizens, responsive to the needs and expectations of the citizens. That is what I have already done. What is the meaning of accountable and what is the meaning of responsive? Where the government should give all the details, how decisions they are taking, for what, for whom they are taking, if any scheme they are planning, for whom the benefit is going to whom, how much money they are saving. That is what is accountable. They should be responsible for the problems which we are facing. They should be answerable to us, and how, and we should also be able to take part in the decision making process of the government. That makes the democracy accountable and legitimate. So before we go into this question, we face another common question: is democracy efficient, government efficient? Is it effective? Some people think that democracy produces less effective government. It is of course true that non-democratic rulers do not have to bother about deliberation in assemblies. Worry. When we talk about democracy, always we talk about the government. We want the government which is completely working for the people's welfare. Surely that is what is our expectation. But in a non-democratic country, the rulers are not bothered about all this. They don't discuss anything. At least in a country like India, the people go, the leaders discuss in the parliament and we come to know what discussions are taking place. So in other countries where the dictatorship is there, they take very quick decisions. But in democracy, there is an idea of deliberation and negotiation. That is, the people discuss, they sit in the parliament, they negotiate, and sometimes the delay is also there. They take lots of time to pass a bill, but they discuss, they fight, they argue, and then finally they come up with a better decision. So does that make democratic government inefficient? Can we say that it is inefficient government because it is delaying anything? Like nowadays there is a bill going on in the parliament, Krishi bill. So there are people who are agitating for that. There are people who are arguing about that. Doesn't matter. It may take some time, but at least they will come up with a good decision. So that is what. It doesn't cost anything. Maybe some time is getting consumed. Imagine a government that may take decisions. So if it imagine a country where there is dictatorship and the dictator takes the decisions very fast, like an Hitler. How true, how correct those decisions are. So in democratic government will take more time to follow procedures, but because it has followed those procedures, its decisions may be both more acceptable to the people and more effective. So cost of the time that democracy pays is perhaps worth it. Even it is taking time, at least it is coming up with the true calculations and a better decision for our country. So now let us look at the other side. Democracy ensures that decision making will be based on norms and procedures. We know that democracy is based on the procedure. Proper procedure is followed. So citizen who wants to know if a decision was taken through the correct procedure can find this out. We can open the Lok Sabha sessions and then we can see whether they are, what they are doing, how they are discussing, are they discussing properly, are they taking decisions properly or not. We have the right to do so. She has the right and means to examine the process of decision making. A person like me, any person, we have the right to examine the process of decision making. This is what is known as transparency, children. Transparency, right to information. We have done in the many earlier classes also. What is right to information? Transparency means we have a right to see what the government is doing, how it is spending our money which we are paying through the taxes and revenues, how it is allocating this money to the different departments, how our leaders are working. Everything is transparent. We can see that through, and if we are not satisfied through, we can even file RTI, Right to Information Act. Right to Information gives us the rights to the people to know about the working of the government departments. All departments, any department, we have the right to know about the working of those. That is what is called as transparency. Under this only RTI is being passed. That is an act which has been implemented. This factor is often missing from many non-democratic countries. If you go to a country like a monarchy country or a dictatorship country, this phenomena is not there. The people can never know what is happening in the government. Therefore, when we are trying to find the outcomes, it is right to expect democracy to produce a government that follows procedures. We can also expect that the democratic government develops mechanisms for citizens to hold accountable and mechanism for citizens to take part in it. So if we wanted to measure democracies on the basis of this outcome, you would look for the following practices in institutions. If we really want to get a good outcome of the democracy, we have to participate. We should look into the government departments. And if we are not satisfied, we should file the petitions, questions. We can ask the questions to the government. So that is how, for example, we can participate in the government process through the free and fair elections. Open public debates are there on the many policies. We can participate in those policies also. And right to information, which I have already done, right to information about the government and its functioning, which I have talked about, the right to information. This is there I am underlining, and this is also a very important question, children, about 1 mark right to information. So the actual performance of democracy shows a mixed record. Democracies have had greater success in setting up regular and free elections, but most democracies fall short of elections that provide a fair chance to everyone and decision to public debate. If we talk about India, democracy, it's not completely successful because democracy gives equal. In India, political equality is there for every person in our country. But we talk about economic equality, social equality, it is not there in our country. So somewhere we are good, somewhere the outcome is good, somewhere the outcome is not positive also. So democracies do not have very good records when it comes to sharing information with its citizens. And this is true. Even after RTI is there, when we talk about government information, hardly any information the people get. The reality is that. It is the truth which I am talking about. In records, RTI is there, but in truth, when we talk about government, we don't know how the leaders, the party leaders are elected. We don't know what decisions are being taken by the top cabinet members. We don't know. So that is what happens in our country. So somewhere, that's what I said. Somewhere we are successful, somewhere we are not successful. Also, children. So when we talk about the record of democracy is not impressive on two counts. For example, when we talk about India is not free of corruption also. Even a dictator country there is corruption. In a democratic country also there is so much of corruption. So we are not free of that also. So there is one respect in which democratic government is certainly better than alternatives because democratic government is legitimate government. In one manner, democratic government is far better than other forms of government. That is, it is a legitimate government. Legitimate government means it's a people's government. It may be a slow government, it may be a less efficient, it may not always very responsive or clean, but still it is people's own government. That way, it is a better form of government. So I'm quickly summarizing this part: accountable, responsible and legitimate government. People have right to choose rulers and control rulers. People participate in decision making process directly or indirectly through their elected agents. Democracy produces a government that is accountable to citizens, responsive to the needs and expectations of citizens. Next point, democratic government is a legitimate government. It may be slow, less efficient, not always very responsive or clean, but a democratic government is people's own government. So that's all, children, for today. Please go through this part and the question which I have given. That's all, children. The question is very direct. How is a democratic country accountable, responsive, and legitimate government? That is a question which is asked, so you can get the answer for that. That's all, children.